reflect a bit about computer literacy, what we've done this year. We're going to think about the things that were good and the things that were bad, things that can be improved. And especially since Ms. Mo is here, we can give her this feedback and hopefully we'll be able to improve computer literacy for next year. And then finally, I'm going to take you guys downstairs and we actually still have to take the touch typing test. So I brought it. And who here has been practicing, by the way? Good. I have confidence that some of you are going to pass. Last year when I was teaching 2B and 2G, no one passed. But I'm sure some of you will be able to type 30 words per minute at 95% accuracy. Is that all, by the way? Okay, so by the end of today, you should have reflected on this year's computer literacy lesson. They were okay, I guess. I'll reflect too. And number 2, you should have taken that assessment to see whether or not you can type 30 words per minute. Okay, but first, I have to talk to you about something else. I'm going to tell you about it because the camera's rolling and I need this to be recorded. Has anyone actually read my blog this weekend? Now, if you've read my blog, you know that I'm not coming back next year. I'm leaving Methodist College. And I've had a lot of problems in my own life, in being a teacher and being a person. And I kind of listed those problems. And you've seen me struggle. You've seen me have all kinds of situations here. I mean, you've witnessed them. You've heard about them. And honestly, like I told you before, I don't feel like I'm fit to be a teacher right now. I'm not fit to teach you guys. I feel like I've been too arrogant, too conceited, too self-centered in the way I've been teaching you, in the way I've been working with you, in the way I've been working with my other colleagues. And in fact, I don't really know how to teach. I don't teach very well. I don't really know anything about teaching. So, I'm going to tell you what happened this weekend because it involves you. I did something really, really wrong, and I'll show you. If you guys have been reading this post over here, 2007-2008 final examinations, if you were actually reading that post, what I put on it, well, there were some things on that post that I shouldn't have put on that post in that blog entry. You guys receive an exam syllabus, right? This examination syllabus lists things that you might see on the exam and think they are things that you perhaps should study. Right? It lists like 10 things. And I'm referring specifically to the usage and vocabulary table. So on the syllabus there are 10 things. But if you were reading this, and this thing has been up for months, I don't know who's been reading it, not just you, parents, the principal, which is how I found out, and other people. I actually put exactly what you had to study. That is, your exam syllabus has 10 things. And, after I was looking at the papers, I put exactly which grammar items you had to study. I only put the items that were going to be on the test. So what I did was a serious breach of rules. Like I was cheating for you. And the principal reads my blog, and she saw that, and she was talking to me. And basically we came to the conclusion that while this can be fixed, and it will be fixed because I've taken the information down, the test is going to be changed again, your usage and vocabulary paper. What I have done is pretty serious, which is why I'm saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry that, this year I've tried to do a lot of things for you guys, but you know what? In trying to do these things for you guys, I haven't been thinking about other people. I haven't been thinking about other students. I haven't been thinking about my other colleagues. I haven't been thinking about their parents. What if they complain that I'm telling you all of it's unfair, right? I've been being unfair. I've been very selfish. So, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that, I'm sorry that I've apologized to you so much because I'm so flawed as a person and as a teacher. That even here, where I thought I was doing something good, I realized, now I was stupid. I mean, how could I do this? I was cheating. And even then, at the time, I didn't realize the difference. I couldn't tell the difference between right and wrong. And I did something very, very wrong. And I did so many wrong things this year in this school that I realized that I'm not fit to teach right now. And I'm not fit to be a very good person right now. I'm not fit to be a role model. I recommend, please find other people to follow, to emulate. Because me, I'm a pretty flawed character. I have a lot of problems, and you know that. So that's why I'm not coming back next year, because I finally realized that, I have a lot of flaws I need to work on. I mean, this thing is just crazy. It's the final thing. It's like a nail in the coffin. And I realized that, I'm too arrogant. I'm not willing to listen to other people. I'm not willing to follow their rules. And because of that, I finally realized that I need to do this. So, I think that's about it. Okay? So I'm really sorry about, causing all of these problems for you guys, getting you involved with things, especially the International Food Fair. I'm sorry that, we've had so many of these situations where I've just been very selfish. I'm a selfish person. And I feel like I'm helping you, but in fact, I'm not helping you. So, anyway. I guess I'll tell the rest of the class tomorrow. I'll just tell them briefly. But, take the examination syllabus for English and use it, study it, because the exam is actually different. What I wrote before, there was things that I shouldn't have written. Well, we were changing the exam, right? So they're being reset because of my mistake. Okay? That's my reflection for the year. All right, that's my reflection. It's been great teaching you guys. You've taught me a lot. You guys have done a lot of wonderful things. I guess I've done some wonderful things too. But I've also made many, many mistakes that are serious in nature. Serious. Teachers should not be making these kinds of mistakes. So I want to apologize for that, and I guess we can move on from there. Right? Now, the reason why you have your exercise books open is because just as I was reflecting on this year, on what I've done right and what I've done wrong, you guys need to reflect on what has been going right and what has been going wrong. In this class, computer literacy, that is. Right? We're just thinking about computer literacy because this information can be useful in teaching next year's Form 2 kids. So I actually have 4 questions that I'd like you to answer. And then I'll give you time to think about them. And then we'll put them on the wiki so that people can actually read your suggestions. They can read what you think has been good, what has been bad this year in this class. So, here we go. One more time. All right. So, the 4 questions here. Let me just make them a bit bigger. Are there any questions, by the way, about what I just said? Anything? No? If you want to talk to me later, you can talk to me. Is that right? But for now, you're going to think about these questions here. Let's make that big. Oh, that's too big. So, in your exercise book, I'm going to give you some time, and then we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to put some suggestions down. This is just with regard to computer literacy. We're wrapping everything up. We're done with control technology, data privacy, everything except touch typing. What was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year? We've learned a couple of things. We've learned about blogging, we've learned about Flash and Dreamweaver, touch typing, and this data privacy, piracy, and control technology. Maybe you can be even more specific within blogs, within Flash, what exactly was the best thing to learn? What was the most enjoyable thing, and why? And of course, also answer, what was the least enjoyable thing to learn? You can be as specific as possible, and please explain why as well. Furthermore, and this will help me, I'm not going to be teaching you, I'm not going to be teaching computer literacy next year, but just for my own records, how can I improve my instruction of this class? Not English, not history, but computer literacy. How can I improve that? And then finally, for you guys, how can you improve your performance for the coming year? Because you will have computer literacy, I think, next year as well. So we can think about next year while we think about this past year as well. Give you maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you want to have an answer, all right, try to write in a complete sentence. And then I'll call on a few of you. We'll put some of our suggestions on the wiki so that perhaps this can be used as feedback for the coming year. I'm going to do this as well. So number one, what was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year and why? 2, what was the least enjoyable thing to learn this year? Why? 3, how can I improve my instruction of computer literacy for the coming year? And finally, what can you improve for your performance in computer literacy for the coming year? So I'm going to put something down for each. Just think hard. We want to get enough responses. Take another 4 minutes. While you're doing that, minutes, yes? Does anyone need more time? We just want answers, all right? So for me, while you're still writing, I'll share. The most enjoyable thing to teach this year has been blogging because I do it a lot. I know a lot about it. I'm an expert on it. The least enjoyable thing to teach this year has been Flash because it was kind of cobbled together. Because at the time in December and November, I know you guys had those storyboards for art class, and Ms. Lee wanted me to help you, to teach you how to animate your storyboards. And I don't think we did a very thorough job about it. I didn't write everything down here, that's one thing. And two, I didn't make you pass checkpoints. It's the same thing with Dreamweaver. At the end of every lesson, I should have checked you guys to see whether or not you could actually do something, whether or not you could actually use the technique. I did that last year, but this year I just didn't do it. So more of you would have passed if I checked up, if I chased after you after every lesson, rather than after everything was supposed to be finished. And how can I improve my instruction? Well, I was just the exact same thing regarding Flash. I should have put everything here, documented everything that I taught on this wiki, and I should have planned earlier to assess you guys after every lesson. Okay. All right. You guys can keep writing, but let me just start going over, getting a few responses from you guys. Okay. So what was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year, and why? I will type. Anyone want to share? Otherwise, maybe I shall just call it. Winky. I will practice my touch typing. Give me a complete sentence. What was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year?
The most enjoyable thing to learn this year was Dreamweaver. Because it is funny and simple, and it is easy to follow instructions.
It was funny. Made you laugh. Funny, simple, and easy. Easy to learn. Its instructions were simple. Good. Give yourself a tick. Who else? Jeremy. Come on, Jeremy. I'll get back to you, all right? Well, give me one more. Someone else over here. Louis.
The science was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year because it is funny and useful.
It was funny. Like Flash made you laugh. And easy. Okay. Useful for what? What was it useful for? What is Flash useful for? Okay. Let's just leave it at that. One more. Jeremy. No. I want you to answer at least one of them, right? Everyone's going to answer at least one. So let me get one more person for what was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year. I want everyone to respond. You might as well respond now. Jessica. Yes, what was the most enjoyable thing to learn this year? Flash? Yeah, why? You think making a cartoon, making funny cartoons is enjoyable? Okay, good. Next. What was the least enjoyable thing to learn this year? What was the worst thing to learn this year in this class? You can be very, very specific too. Jeremy, yes, good.
Chinese typing is the least enjoyable thing.
Because what?
It's very boring.
Okay. Touch typing is boring. Repetitive and boring. Good. Who else? Bobo. Yeah. It was too. What was too difficult? Be specific. What exactly was? Huh? Editing. Because it was difficult to learn new techniques. Make image. Okay. Who else? Let's get one more. Penny.
The copyright and privacy stuff was the least enjoyable thing to learn this year.
Why?
Because I think that's boring and unnecessary.
It's boring and unnecessary. Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay. Everyone else has to answer these questions then. They're the trickier ones. How can Mr. Wu improve his instruction in computer literacy for the coming year? This is very, very important for me. Samuela, you're first. Janet, you're next. Give me an example. Finish, not Flash. Finish Flash. Okay. All right. More time, as in more weeks. More weeks. More time. Okay. Good. Janet, you're next.
Mr. Wu can give us some touchable instruction. Some real stuff. Can touch physical.
Ah, okay. Physical instruction. For example, like touch typing. Perhaps it would be better if we could actually just, put our hands on the keyboard and say, touch this, touch that. Is that what you mean, Janet?
I mean, some paper instruction or
Ah, okay.
especially fresh stuff.
You can give us hard copy instructions. Hard copy instructions. Good. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, boys and girls. A lot of the instruction that I got was online, and I posted the links, but I didn't actually print papers to give to you. And I should have given you more paper in general, in English, in history, and in computer literacy. I should have given you more paper. So I'm sorry about that. I took a lot of my instruction from online, but paper is good too. It's really important. Anyone else? I need one more. One more. No? Michael.
This student can spend more time on explanation and do all this process in front of the class.
Give yourself. He can spend more time explaining while modeling for everyone in the class. Guys, I have another question. Would it have been better if I had modeled here or downstairs in the lab? Because for things like Flash and Dreamweaver, I did it downstairs. But it seems like downstairs you guys were distracted a lot. When I was teaching Flash and Dreamweaver, would it have been better if I just did it here? Who says no? It would have been better to go downstairs, because that's what we did. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Who says it would have been better here? Because, you know, I did it once. I think it would have been better if, I mean, Janet, you're right. I should have given you more hard copy instructions. That's the most important thing. Right? Because I did demonstrate everything. But when you actually see things too, that's important. Especially for Flash. Dreamweaver yet. Okay, let's quickly finish this. How can I improve my performance for next year? Thank you for the advice, by the way. This is very practical. Jason, then Alan.
Care more about what the student care. What the student doing.
That's okay. Like what?
And
Give me an example.
when doing French.
Okay, and care more about what students are doing
What they are problem.
and what their problems are. Now, I'm kind of confused because, like, how? That is how. I've asked you guys if you have questions, and some of you have had questions and problems and have come to you. But how can I show you something else? That's the other thing. Do you want me to, like, walk around and to just go to each one of you? Like, to inspect you guys? Because I think this is a good suggestion. I just need to know specifically how. I mean, I care by asking questions, but perhaps that's not enough. What else can I do? Like, Jason, can you elaborate?
Understand to do and tell me what we really
Okay. I'll try to do that. And I think I've been trying. I don't know if it's been a good job, but you know, every time I've been doing this, I've been saying, I know not Flash was a mess, and I'm sorry about that. But at least for Dreamweaver, I told you guys what exactly we had to do, and we went through all 5 of those things that I was looking for. All right. And if you have problems, you know, I urge you guys to come to me as well, just to tell me, you know, that the problem. Hopefully, we can work out a solution. Okay, so I'll try to be more hands-on next time. All right, Alan, how can you improve your performance for the coming year?
I think I need to work harder to do the homework that is due.
I need to do work at home. Thank you. Give yourself a tip. Who else have we called on? Have we called on you, Yanni? Okay, your turn. Then we'll get a boy. Then we'll do Michelle, Hilda, or Ella.
I think to be more concentrated and flexible.
Concentrate. Give me an example. I need to concentrate less on YouTube. And focus on what? Those tree friends. Having tree friends. On the work, on these Good, thank you. Who's next? Let's do Franco. Okay. I should focus less on. I shouldn't distract myself at other web pages. That's good, thank you. Hilda! You need to practice more what? lot, you're right. I think a lot of the things that we've gone over this year, the problem really is time. Because we only see each other once a week. And for things like Flash and Dreamweaver and touch typing, you have to do it every day to start accumulating a body of knowledge. Right? Because one day you might learn how to make shadows, then the next day, then next week, in Flash, you forget how to do it. How in the world did I make this shadow? And I think that was one of the biggest problems, and that could be solved next time if I just give you more pieces of paper too, so you can keep them. It's like, we do one thing one week, then next week we just forget. So, that's my fault as well. And, hopefully that can be improved upon next year. Hopefully we can have official handouts for everything. Okay, that's it, we're done, thank you. Now, this is what's going to happen. We're going to go downstairs, and do you want some time to review before we take the test? Yeah, okay. We're just practicing all of the letters, being able to capitalize letters, and to punctuate sentences. So you need full stops, you need semicolons, and commas. Okay? So, by the way, when we are touch typing, what is the name of those keys where you should put your hands? Home keys. Okay. So you keep your hands on the home keys, and from there you can reach all of the other keys. Just remember to anchor your fingers there. Work on the punctuation, commas, full stops, semicolons, and be able to capitalize things too. Alright? We'll do some practice together before we even begin. Alright, line up. Let's go. Take care of this.